Biden commuted roughly 1,500 sentences and pardoned 39 people, which was actually considered the biggest single-day act of clemency.
I don't see the news talking about the millions of people that have been denied, or the people that have been killed by the fact that they were denied coverage by their medical insurance. The CEO is not innocent himself. He's also considered maybe a mass murderer in a sense, because he's denying people the right to get health care to save their lives.
I had one of our lovely prison wives who listens to the pod message me, and she let me know that Luigi is at the same prison as her husband. Because my husband's in prison, they think he's a monster. I'm like, I think I'm the monster. if that's what it is, because I ended up on the Idaho state website. Tell me why the fuck Idaho has like a photo gallery on their state website of the people on death row.
So I was helping a friend of mine who is actually going to visit. She's going to visit right now as we speak, because her and her partner, loved one, are just having a hard time with communication. And so I saw this, and I was going to tell her about this video I saw this morning on Instagram. It was a reel, and it was a guy who works with horses, and he was like, he must have been on some type of podcast, because he was talking to somebody, like somebody was interviewing him. And he said, like, the biggest problem we as humans have is communication. We don't know how to communicate with each other. We don't effectively communicate with each other when we do. And he compared it to communicating with horses, because he works with horses. And he's like, for a horse doesn't speak English, and I don't speak horse. So we have to learn how to communicate with each other. And basically communicating with a horse, he said, you have to think of it as in an animalistic sense. Like, we're predatory animals, they're prey animals. When they wake up in the morning, the only thought a horse really has is, am I going to get eaten today? Am I going to make it today? How do I survive today? And so he said, you have to learn how to communicate with whoever you're trying to communicate with, based on, like, for a horse, it's not words, it's body language. Mm-hmm. So I think he was sharing that because I think sometimes we communicate the way we want to communicate, but we maybe necessarily don't communicate the way our partner is more prone to communication. And, we always talk about, in this life, communication is basically the foundation of everything that we have, because we don't have a lot of other things. I mean, any relationship, clearly, whether you be training a horse or whether you be talking to your spouse, I mean, you have to communicate. So it was an interesting concept, because, you think, if I talk, then I'm communicating, but it's not what you're saying, it's how you're saying it. It's the meat behind, or the purpose behind your communication. And not everybody communicates the exact same way. So
I think that's why the love language book and all of that stuff is really important, because that's how you figure out how your person communicates. And like, if your love language is words of affirmation and your partner's is gifts, like, if you're sitting there, like, telling them how much you love them and sending them poems and, like, reaffirming them, like, and they are, like, wanting presents, like, that would mean more to you, because you are a words of affirmation person, but maybe not as much to them because they're, like, a presence person.
Yeah.
But that's awesome. My aunt actually runs a nonprofit. She created a nonprofit a few years ago. I think it's called, like, Hope for Horses. But she has this program with all these horses and people who have all kinds of disabilities that range from literally any kind, from, like, not being able to talk to only, like, a severe, like, on the, I know you're not supposed to say on the spectrum anymore, but, like, anything. They go there and they can take care of the horses, play with the horses, like, ride the horses, and it's a great experience for the horses and for the people. So that's interesting.
It's like a horse therapy. What a beautiful thing.
It is.
Because kids that have zero confidence, they may have certain, I think we call it exceptionalities. They have certain exceptionalities that kind of set them apart from, society in a sense. I hate saying that, but it's true, because some children have things that they can do and some things they can't do. And you see the confidence in them when they get around these horses. And these horses are, first of all, I know some people don't like horses, but I believe horses are majestic animals, and we can learn a lot from them. And so it's funny that you say that your aunt is the person that created that. First of all, what a beautiful human being to do that. Secondly, I found that video, believe it or not, that reel from our pod Instagram.
Really?
And I was wondering, I was like, why are all these horse reels coming up? Like, maybe, I don't know, like maybe it was just something like crazy as far as like, I see all these, because I see them on the pod Instagram and I'm like, oh man, I wish I could get this on my personal page, you know? But that reel I was telling you about with the guy talking about training horses and taking care of horses came from the pod account. So I was like, wow, maybe Paige liked a few horse videos and now all of a sudden, or, you know, maybe her aunt's page or something. I don't know. And then so now we're getting all like the algorithm, you know?
I love that. Hey, I know that she has social media and stuff. So if anyone is in like the Pennsylvania area and you have a child or anyone in your life that has like special needs and would be interested in the program, let me know and I can refer you to her because it's, you know, it's a nonprofit and everything. So
Yeah.
it's a really great program. And she's honestly, my aunt is one of the sweetest women in the world. Like she is the biggest heart. So
What a beautiful human being.
yes, I love her.
To do that, you know? So, well, you guys, enough of the horsey talk. I'm sorry. I just saw that and I had to share because I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
And Michael and I are actually because I'm an animal person. Michael and I are actually reading together. I'm reading to him a National Geographic special edition of like dogs, like the science of dogs, like where they came from, all the breeds, like the history of dogs. So we were reading that this morning, and then the horse video popped up. I just feel like I'm being blessed by animals today.
Thing to read.
Yeah, I mean, he can't read. Well, first of all, he's been sick. His whole tier has been sick. And a few other guys on other tiers have been sick, and he had a flu going around, which, you know, time of year. So he's been reading to me a book, but he can't read because when he reads, he starts coughing, and it's just a hot mess. So I said, well, let me read to you today. So it's an animal day for some reason. All right, guys. Well, enough of the animals. This is episode 38. Welcome to Love Within Walls, a prison wife podcast. The prison wife. I'm gonna be ballsy today. The Prison Wife podcast. And it's your friendly host, Gigi here. And I'm here with the beautiful.
Your friendly host, Paige here. Hello, friends.
And we're here to bring you episode 38. Paige, I say challenge on. We got to get at least 39 done before the end of this year.
I know.
So that way we can start 2025 on episode 40.
That's crazy.
We'll be over the hill in 2025.
Period.
But thank you guys for being with us and riding with us every week, getting us to episode 38. We wouldn't be here without you. Before we start, though, we're going to give a shout out to our sponsor. It's holiday time at Beyond Bars Imaging. And Paige did something amazing. I shared it on my personal Instagram, but just because to show you what she can do. She posted a picture of herself and Joe separate, like two totally different pictures, not even together. And she then merged them into a beautiful holiday photo. So if you haven't seen that reel yet, please go over to Beyond Bars Imaging on Instagram or our personal Instagrams or the pod Instagram and check it out, because you definitely, like, you not having a holiday picture because you don't get visits is not an option anymore. Paige is like, no excuses here. So even if you don't get visits and you don't have a couple picture together, you can still get a holiday picture done for Christmas or even New Year's. So are we rolling into the 2025 with a brand new photo of you and your loved one, your honey boo boo. So go ahead and hit up Paige at Beyond Bars Imaging. She is a freaking genius when it comes to making pictures, merging, putting holiday garb, different backgrounds, all of that good stuff. So slide on into her DMs at Beyond Bars Imaging on Instagram, on TikTok, and even the Facebook page. Did I need to add anything else, Paige? Oh, you're muted.
Perfect. That was perfect.
Okay, awesome. All right. Did we want to announce that we're going in the process, like big things are coming for the pod in regards to Facebook? Are we making that announcement?
Yeah.
Okay, Paige, you want to tell them?
Come on over. Yeah. So last night, I mean, this is something that I think we've both been thinking about for a minute, but we never like really like put it into action. We don't have a podcast Facebook page. Of course, we have like our group, but that is separate from the podcast. It is,
Mm-hmm.
a separate entity. But we don't have like a Facebook page where we like post our reels or like post updates or anything for anyone. So like unless you have Instagram or you're on our Patreon or in our group, that's the only way you can access us. And we do know that there are, especially prison wives, a large population of prison wives on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to go ahead. We're going to make a Love with Them All's Prison Wife podcast Facebook page that you can like, follow, whatever it is that you do on there. And you can support us that way. And that's just another way that we're going to try, especially with the new year, to kind of get a reach and maybe reach out to some ladies who don't know that we exist and show them that we do.
Yes. And it's a great, I also told Paige it's a great way to connect to our listeners as well, who may not be in love within walls because they may not have a loved one who is incarcerated, but they listen and follow the pod, or maybe they were formerly incarcerated loved ones or whatever. It's for everybody. So, we want our group to be a support group, but we also want a place for our wallers to have a home on Facebook. So, yeah, I'm really excited about that. So be on the lookout for that, guys. Hopefully by 2020, maybe even before 2025, if not before, definitely in 2025, we will have that up and rolling. So, all right. Are we ready for our favorite part, our favorite song?
We are.
All right, here we go. All right, Paige, what up with that legislation? And boy, do we have some good stuff this week.
Yeah, guys, what a week, right? Like, holy.
Big week.
Well, I guess we can start with one of the bigger pieces of criminal justice news. Biden commuted roughly 1,500 sentences and pardoned 39 people, which was actually considered the biggest single day act of clemency. I this is hard. I never want to be negative about things like this because obviously it's thank God that he's done it. Thank God that he plans to to continue. Oh, sorry.
Uh-oh. You okay, honeys?
Yeah.
Okay.
The spirit of Joe Biden just came over me as I'm talking shit about him. So he did commit, he didn't commit, he commuted roughly 1,500 sentences. A lot of these people, when you're looking into it though, were on house arrest. A lot of them were people from, that did crimes a long time ago. I don't really like how he picks and chooses with his pardons, and then he's like, America is built on the promise of possibility and second chances. And I'm like, okay, but I don't know. I hate to knock it, but it is crazy. I have one part of his pardons that I want to call out because it's pretty upsetting to me. And so I actually think I talked about this on the pod when I didn't know what the whole concept was called, but now it's back in the news because this is one of the people that he pardoned. You might have remembered I talked about it was where that judge was corrupt in Pennsylvania, and
Yes.
they were sending all of these juvenile boys to like a correction facility, and then the judge would like get money for sending people there.
Yeah.
It was this whole disgusting thing. Um, so the judge that was involved in all of that is one of the people that Biden decided to pardon. Biden stirs outrage in Scranton by commuting the kids for cash judge sentence. So, just to kind of give a little bit of more detail about that for others who might not have listened when I talked about that. The Kids for Cash scandal with former Judge Michael Conahan shut down a county-run juvenile detention center that shared 2.8 million in illegal payments for the builder, the co-owner, and the two for-profit lockups. Another judge was also involved in the illicit scheme. Basically, they got money for sending these children to a correctional facility when they absolutely did not need to go to a correctional facility. It was always they did something small, and it wasn't that they needed to be confined and put in a kid's prison. They just needed a little extra help. And it was the largest ever judicial corruption scheme within Pennsylvania. There were 4,000 juvenile convictions among that 2,300 kids after the scheme came out about it. And there's also one man. I guess he was a kid when it happened. Now, Susie Fonzo of Wilkes-Barre. She lost her son. He was a part of all of this. He was one of the kids that was, he did something wrong, and he didn't really need to be sent to a correctional facility, but he was. And then when he got out of the correctional facility, he ended up taking his own life. And, that's a mother that doesn't have her child now,
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's just crazy. I'm always going to, be a promoter of second chances and stuff like that. But it just kind of sucks sometimes where these people that are in these positions and these power positions, like judges, like other people, it's just, again, you're showing that they can get away with anything.
Yeah.
All you need to get away with thing is to have power or money. And even
Correct.
when you fuck up and do something that is that insane, it doesn't matter because you'll eventually get pardoned.
Yeah.
Like,
And I'm wondering, what about all the people with marijuana charges that are stuck in
there's
prison?
a lot. There were a few that but there weren't. I mean, there's a lot, and he
Yeah.
promised.
Yeah.
Let's not even talk about federal death row. We're waiting.
Patiently waiting to take these down, President Biden,
You said.
because you promised that shit.
You said. But it's the whole
But
thing.
Can I say this about the federal death row? Part of me wants to think that he might do it, but he might wait till the very last minute. Because you've seen people try to do a mass clemency of death row, and then they get tied up in all kinds of litigation. Like in our state, that's what happened. And so I'm wondering if, if that's something he might do. I hope and pray he does, because
I have no
we
hope.
know what's coming for federal death row in the next 4 years, and we know the plans that have been said and been set. And Google it if you don't believe me. I mean, I know there's going to be people barking at my face, but Google it. And so I hope and pray that maybe he's waiting to the last minute to do those, because he wants to be done and nobody can argue against it. But I hope he does come through.
We'll see. I mean, I don't have any hope in any political figure at this point. I'm going to be real with everyone.
They're all liars at this point.
And that's what I said when I'm like, I don't worship any political figure, because they all are the same, and they all want money or recognition or something. None of them, they might start running to want to make a change and help the world, but it always changes, and money always becomes the main factor. So I'm just over it. Like, even this judge, when he did serve his prison sentence, do you know how long it was?
How long?
18 months.
Oh, so hard.
For all of those kids' lives you fucked up.
Yeah.
It's okay. He was a judge.
Yeah, because he had a role in society or in
Yeah.
a power role. Oh, well,
He
just a
just got
slap on the
he just got
wrist.
mixed
Just
up with the wrong people.
oh yeah,
He's fine.
fuck off.
He's fine.
Yeah. Um, and so is there anybody else of note that he did pardon?
There was one that I know a lot of people were getting real pissed about.
I know he did pardon a lot of the people that were charged criminally for having sex because they were homosexuals in the military, which was a big step. Did you
Didn't
did
even
you not
know
see it?
about that.
Yeah, like a lot of like in the military, it used to be a crime to have gay sex, basically. I don't know what the right, listen, if I'm not saying the right PC terms, let me know. But this is what I read. It used to be a criminal offense to be caught having gay sex in the military. And so those people that were criminally charged for having a homosexual relationship with other people in the military and getting caught, he pardoned, which is
Wow.
obviously a good step. Nobody should be criminalized for loving whoever they choose to love.
That is crazy. I know another
Unless it's,
one.
as long as it's consensual. I mean, it's different if it's not. That's a whole different realm. But I'm just saying, just generic charges of having sex with someone else of the same sex in the military.
I'm trying to pull up the article because I don't want to misspeak. There was one person that he
Did he pardon the guy that was charged for marijuana and the son was like begging Biden? Remember, I think it was on Jail for Weed, or one other major platform for criminal justice reform, where the son was begging Joe Biden to free his father for a nonviolent marijuana charge.
I don't even know who his name is to know if
Okay.
to tell you that.
Okay.
There was another notable one that he did was that a lot of people are kind of blowing up into something bigger, which I mean, but let me also say, child porn is disgusting
Yeah.
and never fucking okay. And
Correct.
like, you should be prosecuted if you are found to have any, like, because fuck no. But one of the people he pardoned was a Chinese spy who possessed different files of child porn. But what he did with that was, which I don't agree with still, but I just think it's crazy that that's what was chosen over other things. I guess
Right.
that guy is sent back to China and
Okay.
he's going to be prosecuted there and he's not allowed to come back to the United States. But I'm like, okay, but
What about all these other people who have nonviolent charges, not dealing with children, just marijuana charges? Like what? Like
yep,
I don't know.
me either.
If
And
marijuana is recreational in many states in this country, and Joe Biden's made a major attempt to decriminalize marijuana, it just doesn't make sense to me. Make it make sense to me. Dang. All right. Do you have anything else for what up with that?
not really. What about
Okay.
you?
Well, speaking of juveniles, Mama Bear, my mom, sent me this morning in our New Orleans Times-Picayune paper. We recently passed, because, criminal justice isn't being rolled back, you guys. It is in Louisiana. When people say I'm crazy, I'm telling you. They just passed Senate Bill 2, intended to try certain juveniles, as adults and incarcerate them as adults. Okay. The state with the most incarceration had the lowest ranking public schools, Louisiana. Thank you very much.
Yep.
Perhaps instead of locking up children, it might benefit us all to start educating children early.
No, how about you guys put the Constitution or whatever in the classroom with the Bible, and that'll help, I think.
Yeah. Well, this was an opinion piece written by Patty Spinelli of New Orleans, and she said, I just asked before this measure comes to a public vote, so the public still has to vote on it, to amend the state constitution, that we all do our research. Get out of the social media bubble talking points of super predators, as they say, and ask ourselves if locking up more black and brown children is really the solution, because it's really the children coming from marginalized areas of the city and the state.
Yep. There's always a goal with those things, you know?
Yeah. So shout out to Patty Spinelli for putting this out, because people in Louisiana just voted for like a bunch of amendments to change everything here and give our governor, Satan himself, a lot more power and give him everything he wants, which is why I found out, which is why he didn't join Trump's cabinet, because he's now emperor of Louisiana. He doesn't want to give up all the power he has here in the state because people are handing it to him. We are giving him all of this power. And the thing is, our voters are voting for this. Like, it's disgusting to me.
He needs to go to hell. Like, now.
Yeah. And he thinks he's the best governor in America. Like, that's what he thinks. Delulu.
Yeah, okay.
So, thanks, Louisiana, for being bass backwards and
Just wish
giving.
you could leave.
Yeah. And the fact that we're going to be now locking up more children as adults. Reversing.
Every other state is going forward, and you guys are like, actually.
Yeah. So when people tell me, you're wrong, Gigi, you're wrong, I'm telling you, it's happening here. And you're not believing me. And you're not going to believe me until it happens in your state. Just saying. I had to put that out there. I'm spicy today, and I'm spicy about that because I get so much crap. And I'm sorry. I'm going to go off just a little bit. I'm going to get my chillax sign. I'm going to be diplomatic. But I get so much crap about me talking about the politics in my state. And let me tell you, you come down here and live here for 2 years, and then you can tell me how fucking nuts I am.
Fuck that.
I've been living here for 41 years of my life. Please do not tell me that I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about when they're putting it in the goddamn newspaper. I'm sorry. Okay. Ran over. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Some people like when I get spicy.
Period.
All right. Let's go ahead and dive in. We got our, I got green on for a reason. Not only is it Christmas. Wait, stop. Can I just say this? Bitch, did you get a nose ring?
I've had my nose pierced for the longest time. I just don't ever wear anything in it. And the other day, Brody was like, I want you to put a nose ring in. And I was like, fine. And I just haven't taken it. And even Joe keeps saying something because he's like, he keeps noticing. And I'm like, oh, I forget it's there. But yeah, I have
Oh my God. Okay. Because I was like, wait, I've never seen you with a nose ring.
I put a hoop in per instruction from my child.
Aw. Oh, it looks great.
Dang.
I was like, wait, what's that on her nose? What's that on it? But I didn't want to say anything. And I'm like, wait, it's a nose ring. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. See, I do notice things.
You do.
You do. I do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not always great at it, but I do. All right. So, okay. So let me get back to
Are you
the
wearing green? Yeah.
I'm wearing green. First of all, Bah Humpug.
Oh, wait. I know what you're about to say.
Okay. For Vito, obviously Vito won the dog championship. So shout out to Vito the pug. But also green for who, Paige? Guess.
My boy Luigi.
Your boy Luigi.
I knew it. I love that. Y'all,
Yeah.
this has been all up in the news. I have never seen so many women voluntarily wanting to throw themselves into the prison life world.
Yes. And even not even just women, gay men are like, can I put money on daddy's books? Like they're like, TikTok is going crazy for Luigi Mangione, who obviously, if you don't know, you should know who this person is, but if you don't, he is the one that shot or assassinated the CEO of United Healthcare, a health insurance company.
My health insurance company.
Me too.
My health insurance company that has recently denied things for me as well.
Yep. And not just
them.
you, a lot of people. So
Yeah, they're a trip. It's such a hard thing to speak on because obviously you don't want to ever promote crime or be like,
Yeah.
supporting the things that we say that we are not for, but
Yeah.
this is such a unique, crazy situation. I feel like we're in a movie.
Yes. Yes. I feel like this can't be real,
Yeah.
but at the same time, I understand. Like, I can understand the frustration that people feel towards, these people who have billions and billions of dollars and are killing American people practically every day.
Without thinking about it.
Yeah.
Apparently he created an AI system that can deny claims based off of their algorithms. Like, so they would their
Wow.
AI would decide if it was a valid claim or not. So I'm
Yeah.
like, that's insane.
Yes.
Like,
And people with chronic conditions are just denying constantly.
yep. And I don't know if you know anyone with chronic conditions, but when they live, everyone I know that suffers, you can't even forget about it if you wanted to one day, that
Yeah.
it's just a pain that never
And the
goes
thing
away.
is, this impacts so many people because so many Americans have problems and so many family members. If it's not you personally, it might be a family member who has a chronic condition or needs, when you think about it, how much you give every paycheck to your health insurance company,
Hmm.
and they're sitting here denying you. And the thing is, I listened to this on TikTok and I shared it on my personal TikTok page. It's a comedian, and he was talking on a podcast, and he's like, look, I'm not condoning what he did. Like, it's not,
Yeah, we're not saying go
all these
commit
people
murder.
getting angry about people rejoicing over this killing is, it's not right. But can you truly, like, I don't see the media, I don't see the news talking about the millions of people that have been denied, or the people that have been killed by the fact that they were denied coverage by their medical insurance. These people aren't innocent. The
No,
CEO is not innocent himself. He's also considered maybe a mass murderer in a sense, because he's denying people the right to get health care to save their lives.
they profit more and more every year. Their salaries are insane. And like,
Yeah.
if you could only know the money that they scrape off when they do those things, it's not it's messed up. And the whole health insurance company, this is coming from someone who has worked inside of it for 9 almost 10 years now. There's just so much money that's going and being wasted. And like, even if you think about when you go to the hospital and like you get like a blood drawn, and like then the hospital like wants to charge you like $2,000 for the blood drawing and the test, and it's like, who's asking for that? And then like, it's like money isn't real sometimes, and it's just like
Yeah.
insane. And the whole, so like, it's not like I want to say, oh yeah, woohoo, like, but it's an interesting concept, all of it.
Yeah.
And of course, him being attractive,
Yeah.
also is a
Yeah.
whole nother factor to it.
Yeah. The Britney Spears song is like on and popping. Mama,
Oh my
I'm in
God.
love with
I have
a
heard that song so
criminal.
many times on
I
TikTok.
know.
Seriously.
And I will say this, I'm not for, obviously, unaliving any person. Obviously, I mean, I fight against the stigma of that every time that it comes up. But and I'm very much against the people that are they're making saint candles with his face on them. And I mean, I get that it's maybe meant to be a joke, but at the same time, it's kind of yeah, it's kind of also distasteful, I think. So I'm on both sides of the fence. I am. I think that, there's some funny things. Like, if you go to X,
Oh
it
my
is
God, the
all
memes.
the memes, like open enrollment, open season. Oh, like
I saw one meme that was like the turtle shells from like Super Smash Brothers, the green turtle shells, and they just said like denied, disposed, defend. Like, I'm like, oh my God.
yeah.
It
Um,
it's I don't know. It's hard not to,
of course, you feel
sound.
bad. I feel bad for his
Oh
children,
my God,
obviously.
that's the one
You
thing I
know,
can't like. I
yeah.
can't as a
I
parent.
feel bad for his family, but this man made $10,000 in 10 minutes. And that was the amount of the reward that they were offering for his finding whoever had done this to him. $10,000 to him is nothing. So he made over $20 million in one salary year, plus not to mention the millions and millions of bonuses he received. So yeah, I will say this. I am kind of loving the fact that CEOs are scared as shit
I know.
from other insurance
Well,
companies.
apparently they're calling these security companies off the chain. And also, can I say another funny thing about this? Well, maybe not funny. Altoona, where he was found, everyone knows I live in Pennsylvania. Y'all, my mother was born in Altoona.
Wow. I was
So
wondering how far that was from you.
yeah, it's only about it's a little less than 2 hours, and it's like a really quiet town. When I saw it, I was like, okay, if he's wearing a mask in Altoona, you're gonna be called out because Altoona is one of those towns that would not bow down to the mask mandates and everything during
Okay.
COVID. So I'm like, oh, you're sticking out like a thumb at that McDonald's with your mask on,
Yeah.
but. I thought that was like a crazy twist to all of it.
Yeah. And I was going to say the McDonald's in Altoona, have
The
you not
reviews.
seen the they're getting all kind of bad reviews, like rats everywhere, like like it's just
I
crazy.
saw I saw a thing that said that the guy who created the backpack that he was carrying, I guess it's a special kind of backpack, expensive kind of backpack, and the guy
Okay.
and they only make a certain amount, and like certain ones were only sold certain places. The CEO of that company called the FBI when he saw that his backpack was the one being used, and he called and said this backpack was bought on this day by this person.
Wow.
Yeah, that came out like yesterday.
Wow.
And I have one more thing about this before we jump off the Luigi train, which is actually kind of interesting, fun news.
It is very interesting.
I had one of our lovely prison wives who listens to the pod message me, and she let me know that Luigi is at the same prison as her husband.
Yes. Yes. I
So,
had the same person message me too.
yes. So anyone who saw some of the news stories about I think it was like News Nation that was standing outside of the
Yes.
prison. They were watching News Nation live, the people inside, the incarcerated men, and they were answering and shouting out as that they were getting interviewed. It was the craziest concept. And one of the men in there is a husband to one of the prison wives that listens to our pod, and she said that they had a crazy lockdown the first day that he got there, and they weren't able to get phone calls, and apparently they have him on super super hard lockdown, and I think that we probably could have guessed that.
Oh yeah.
But she said that her husband is in an honor dorm, and they even had like the lockdowns in his area because I think that they're just worried about anything happening to him, which makes sense. And now I
Well,
know.
they're worried, like people see him as a hero, so they're worried about, I guess, maybe people trying to get in to free him,
Yep.
or copycats.
Or anything could happen,
Hmm.
and it's just I don't know. I saw one person make a comment about this, and I was like, oh, that would be fucking crazy. I heard someone say about him possibly they're trying to extradite him to Rikers in New York, and anyone who knows anything about Rikers, no one wants to be at Rikers. Not even the guards want to be at Rikers. It is it is a
It's rough.
terrible. It should be shut down. It shouldn't even exist. But
Yeah.
guess what? I don't want him to go there, but think about the exposure to Rikers and the people that would care if he
Hmm.
went there and
Yeah.
knew of the conditions that he was dealing with. But
Yeah.
apparently that's a possibility.
Okay. But I think you told me he refused
He has
extradition.
he's been denying. I think he denied it like twice, which
Okay.
is because obviously you can't be charged for in Pennsylvania for the murder.
No, he has to be charged for New York,
Yep.
obviously.
Hmm.
Yeah. Wow. Well, can we just talk about one thing dealing with this?
Hmm.
Is the prison talk world just
Yes, please.
popping off?
Yes.
Obviously, this has something to do similar with kind of like, some other cases that we've seen recently where women are just going crazy for Luigi, or like other people in the past, and they want to be his pen pal, they want to put money on his books, they want to do all the things. So It's just very interesting that this is now the trending part of prison talk is the Luigi stuff, because there are already lines, troves of women and men who want a piece of him, you know?
And like very sophisticated people, CEOs. Like I keep seeing like company Twitters and stuff like say, "Oh yeah, Luigi was with us on what was it, December 4th or whatever." At
Stop,
6
stop. Did you
a.m.
see the one about, did you see the one that Burger King posted, the
Yes,
tweet that Burger King
yes,
posted?
yes.
Like, we don't snitch.
Literally, I was like, "Oh my god, y'all, I don't even, at least it was like a nice new little wave because it kind of brought a little lightheartedness to some of the prison talk over on TikTok. Because I mean, shit. I don't know if you were in on it last night. I know I sent it to you and you were probably asleep, but all the shit with Ash Trevino,
Oh, yeah.
she's blowing up. She was on live last night, y'all.
With Santos.
300,000 people when I was watching were watching her.
Well, I know she did her collab with Santos,
Yes.
and she finally found somebody to do her makeup that would
Yes.
do it for her
I was
collaboration.
watching.
Yeah. I saw it this morning. I didn't see it last night, but I did see it this morning.
I like was watching some of the recaps from, and I'm like, that's the one thing it sucks about being an early sleeper. I'm like, oh, I miss everything. I wish I could watch this live with everyone. But like, she's like going, this Santos kid is like 19, 20, and she's like
Yeah.
going on a date with him. And like, it's turned into this huge joke, this huge, oh, inmate hopper, blah, blah, blah. It's just frustrating. Maybe she can at least move away from that.
That's what I was about to say. Like, maybe this is her way of getting away from that world, and she can just be her messy self, not dealing with prison talk.
Please, because I'm so tired of literally anytime you go anywhere. Maybe this is just me because I'm like a blonde, but like anyone that doesn't know me, that wants to talk shit, like, okay, Ash Trevino, okay, what? Because I am a prison wife. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Well, that's the problem. Everybody sees her and they think that's us.
I know that she just re-emphasizes what they think we are. They're like, oh yeah, all of those people are exactly like her. No, babe.
That's
No,
Yep.
babe.
Yep. Well, I don't know what's right and what's wrong with all this. Obviously, there's some things that I feel very strongly about, but there's also some things I also feel with the whole Luigi, going back to Luigi.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a delicate it's a delicate walk, what you support and what you don't support. And obviously, I don't support this happening with him doing what he did, but I also, it brings awareness to the fact that the American people are working their asses off, living paycheck to paycheck, paying these major companies all of this money, and they are taking us for granted, and they're greedy, and they're so
Nothing will
wherever
change. So we're
no.
just, it's just living through that
But
experience.
it's bringing awareness. I mean, this case does bring a lot of awareness to the what's the word? The misgivings of the insurance company and the greediness behind the companies, and how they really just don't care about the people. They're just in it for the money. Like, let's be
Could
real.
have told you that a long time ago. I hate. Oh, it's so frustrating. What is so funny about that whole situation is that I remember when it happened and I told Joe about it, and I was like sounding a little bit like how I am now, like how I'm like, oh my god, like what, like, oh, that's crazy. Joe was the one that was the ultra sensitive man about it. Like he was like, that's sad, and he was like, he has family, and like he was the like, and not that I don't think those things, because I do, and it just takes me usually a little bit to like get to that point for things like this. But he right away he was like, no, he has like a family, like that's like he didn't, like he shouldn't have done. I'm like, can I tell you what happened? Like he's just saying all of that. I'm like, listen. Meanwhile, people, because my husband's in prison, they think he's a monster. I'm like, I think I'm the monster, if that's what it is, because he was sad about it.
He was understanding of the fact that somebody's family is now missing somebody, which is, I mean, just shows you how amazing Joe is, and how his whole mindset has changed, you know? And
Totally.
the work he's doing has helped him get there, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, I was laughing at all the memes. I will say that. I will. I
Oh,
mean,
they
I'm
were
guilty.
fan.
I'll go to hell, but
Fucking
I couldn't help it. It's like the Ocean Gate thing. Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
the memes were just. I know it was terrible, but it was just. It
It's
was
the
just
only way you
funny.
can deal with some of that shit.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
heavy.
And I guess I don't know. I guess it's just harder. It's harder. Like just as a working, I'm a blue collar person. I work. I mean, I'm a public school teacher.
I'm a pink collar. I learned that yesterday.
Oh, what's that?
Jobs that are prominently performed by women.
Oh,
So I'm
okay.
like an office slave. So that's like women. So I'm like a pink collar.
She got a pink. That's perfect for Paige. Her favorite
And
color.
I'm like, okay.
Pink is my signature color. All right. Anyway, blush and bashful. No, but as a blue collar person that works a public, you know, I work for the state. I work for a public entity. You know, it's. I guess it's like you know, you kind of when you're working and you live paycheck to paycheck. It's you don't feel a certain you lose sympathy for people that have this gargantuan amount of money. Like we're talking billions and billions and
When you
billions
see
of
that, when you
dollars.
get a bonus and you see the taxes taken out of that fucking bonus, then you become like that. You become like Luigi.
And the fact that this guy is making $10,000 in 10 minutes. I mean, you know,
Mm-mm.
he's making $1,000 a minute, guys. Like that would be basically almost like 4 minutes of work for me. Like to make well no, yeah, $1,000 a minute. That's my month. Like he works 4 minutes a month. That's my salary. You know what I mean? So it's yeah. It's just like how do you really feel bad for somebody that has it all plus some
I know.
while we're sitting here working our asses off
And that's
for
why I'm like,
minimal?
and that's why I go back to the kids because I'm like, they're so innocent in all this. They
Yes.
didn't choose
Yeah.
their life or their dad, or so
I
I feel
agree.
bad for them.
I do. I do. I feel bad for them. You know, losing a family member is a terrible, especially in a tragedy like this when it's
And
not.
seeing everyone how they're reacting,
Yeah.
like when they get
Yeah.
older.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't agree with you know, enjoying or finding joy in this. I don't agree with that at all. I think it's just like I said, I think it's distasteful. But you know, I think it does open a lot of people's eyes to how the American people truly do feel about, you know, these people that have billions and billions of dollars and these companies that are just working on the backs of the American people.
I have one more thing to talk about before we go into
Okay.
questions.
Okay. Well, we got two more things.
Oh, okay.
You got the Idahos.
Yes.
Idaho, no, Idaho, and then the Christmas stuff.
Oh, yes. Okay. Idaho. This is just a quick little thing that I discovered this week, and I wanted to talk about it on the pod because I'm like, this is disgusting. I was on the Idaho website this past weekend. One of my my best friend, her husband is on death row in Idaho. I forget why I was Googling something for her and I Googled it and I ended up on the Idaho state website. Tell me why the fuck Idaho has like a photo gallery on their state website of the people on death row. That felt that
Really?
felt really fucking gross to me. I was just like, this is like, why is this here? And it's like their photos from when they first like got like
When they got
arrested.
yeah.
And it's so there's only I think 8 of them on
Okay.
Idaho death row, and there's just it literally says like what like everything on there, and it's like a photo gallery.
Oh wow.
Why?
That's a little creepy.
I literally so I messaged my friend. I go, why is this a thing? This is
Yeah.
weird. I go, this feels like dystopian.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like putting them up like I don't know if it's for the people that are interested in true crime and they're looking
It's
for
like the
this
state
like
website.
I know that it's messed up though. I feel like they're catering to. That's what I'm saying. I feel like they're
Yes.
catering to something like that.
Yes. Or they're like, look at these people that we're gonna kill.
Yeah.
Like it's gross.
It's yeah.
And I
It's
just
like putting them on display
yes.
for,
Yes.
you know, the public basically like almost like like you said, like a dystopian type.
museum type
You know,
shit where they're like,
yeah.
this is all the people that are currently on death row that we might kill. Like, what are you fucking? This is fucking weird. And I just wanted to bring it up on the pod because A, I had never seen anything like that before. And B,
Hmm.
I was like, do any other states do this? Because that's fucking insane. I know California doesn't because they have way
No.
too many people on death row. But like,
Well, and isn't most of the people on death row like not on death row technically anymore?
so they're on, so they still have their death row charge, but there isn't a death row, if that makes sense.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but being as backwards as Louisiana is, we don't have that. There's publications that will put that out, but not a state
Yes.
entity type website.
Right? It's
State run
weird.
website. Yeah. Now, can it happen here? Absolutely. With our governor? Sure.
Maybe one day
You
we
know,
will.
but right now we don't. It's other publications like maybe the Death Penalty Information Center but it's not a gallery. It's like their information in their case, and some of them have a picture and some don't. So like
I was just
Mike's doesn't have a picture. So, you know.
yeah, I thought that was really gross, and I mentioned it to and she was like, "You should talk about that on the pod." And I was like, "I honestly should because that was like, it was like really, it bothered me. I was like, this is
Yeah.
really, I don't
Yeah.
like it."
All right, Paige. Well, sleigh bells are ringing, and it's time to roll into the holiday season as a prison
Yay!
wife. So,
Yay!
bah humbug. I'll be honest, and I put this on because we just finished our 12 days of holiday hope in Love Within Walls, and one of the last ones was about being a Grinch. And I wouldn't say I'm a Grinch. I feel like just the holidays just came really fast. I wasn't ready for it, and I feel like I'm just not as jubilant as I usually am this time of year for some reason. So I don't know. Maybe it just came up too quick on me, and I just wasn't. I wasn't ready, or maybe I'm just not feeling it this year. I really don't honestly know.
For me, it doesn't feel like Christmas.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't feel like Christmas time, and like, I don't really know why. Like, it literally, I have one more week of work left, and then I get to be off until the next year, and I'm like, still not even excited about that. I feel like every day I wake up and I'm like,
Okay, is something in the microwave? Because that's exactly how I feel.
I think we just need to, I think we need jobs that make us love life, but
I mean, I love my job. I love life. I just
no, maybe that's just me.
no, but I mean, yeah. Well, but the job part. I mean, granted, I have a week left, but it's not that I don't love my job. I don't know. Lately, I don't know. Maybe
I haven't
like
been
I
feeling
was
it. It's
I was
the
talking.
world is weird.
Well, let me tell you, I was talking with RHOA last night on our group chat, and we were all feeling it last night. Like, they were going to do things, and like, everybody was coupled up except one person, and like we were all crying last night. Like, it's just hard. It's hard right now. It's hard out right now out here for a prison wife, and just the feeling of being alone. During this time can be a lot, and we're getting closer and closer. Like this is the last week before we get into the week of Christmas, obviously coming up, and it's just it's a reminder that you're whether you can't see your loved one or you're not going, spending time with family or whatever you're doing. It's a hard time. This week is coming up. I think it's going to be a really hard week for prison wives, and I feel like we're just getting like we're tiptoeing into it. Starting right now, as we get closer.
I feel like for me, it doesn't hit until like Christmas Eve and Christmas Day for at least the Joe part. I feel like being a mom and having to like get presents and like be there for Brody and like keep his spirit happy, at least in a good way, kind of distracts me from like everything else. But when Christmas Eve rolls around and we have like our traditions with our like pajamas and like watching a movie and like putting stuff out for Santa, and then like the Christmas morning and stuff, like that's when I'll definitely be like missing him heavy and be like, oh my gosh, I wish that, you could come to Christmas with my family and like do normal things, like just wake up on Christmas together and like watch Brody open presents, I think that's when I'll feel it. So maybe I'm even like anticipating that crash out that's bound to
Yeah.
come.
And I have the tradition of going to visit Michael on Christmas, either Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, usually Christmas Day.
That's nice.
And that's happening. I mean, I'm going next weekend for the whole weekend to visit, and then I go back on Christmas Day. So I am blessed. And I'm saying this because I know a lot of people don't get visits for Christmas, or they can't visit for Christmas, or whatever. So I am blessed, but part of me is also like another Christmas in prison. Like that's part like like I feel bad saying that, but like, like I just want to spend a Christmas not being monitored and, you know, having to wear only certain clothing and, like I don't know. I just want a
No, yeah.
normal Christmas,
Yeah.
and I'm blessed to have a visit. So I know I'm not trying to be a shit ass, being petty about stuff, but I don't know. This year I'm just kind of like, I'm happy to spend the holiday with my husband. I really, really am. And I'm blessed beyond all belief to be able to have this opportunity. But part of me also is like another visit. I'm going to spend Christmas at Angola.
Yeah.
Like
I
even though we're going to have a great day, I already know it, but
It's just knowing that you have to. It's like when you go to visit. It's just like knowing all the things that you have to deal with when you like go into it. And I tell Joe, I'm like, that's the worst part. Like, obviously, when I get to you and I'm with you,
yeah.
everything's always worth it. But like leading up to it and not knowing what you're gonna have to fucking deal with, or if like COs are in a pissy mood, or especially on the holidays, a lot of them are. They don't want to fucking be there.
I will say this though, Angola on Christmas Day, they're actually really nice.
That's
Like
awesome.
they're nice usually, but they're really nice on Christmas Day because they know bitch is here on Christmas Day visiting her loved one. Let's not like that's got to be hard enough as it is. Like
Do,
let's not make it harder for
do
them.
those COs want to come work at CDCR? They could probably get a hefty raise.
I was just saying that yeah.
They'll probably pay for
We
them
need
to
more
live
CEOs
certain
like
places.
that.
You get all kinds of benefits.
Mm-hmm.
Shit. They
Yeah,
don't care
I
if
mean,
you're mean.
we should spread the wealth, like spread the wealth out to
Literally.
other prison families, other
Mm.
prison what's the word, entities or whatever.
Teach them how to treat family members like humans.
Yeah. And I will say that Angola does do a great job of that. So shout out to the staff at Angola because, they are, like I always say, they're always very family friendly. They're very, hospitable compared to, and I've never been anywhere else, but just hearing stories of other places. So, but yeah, they are very nice on Christmas Day. I will say that. They're very, very kind. So yeah, it's just, did you have some tips of dealing with the holidays?
I feel
You
like
said you had 5 tips.
the best part is to like keep yourself healthy, busy. Like
Yeah.
if you find your mind like going to like a bad place, like redirect it. Like think about something good. Keep yourself surrounded by happy, equal-minded people, like especially other prison wives. If anyone's going to understand how you're feeling during this time, it's going to be people like us. So
Yeah.
feel free
And
to lean into
like I said,
those.
next weekend I'm hanging. I'm gonna be up. I'm staying up there, so I'm gonna be able to meet up with people that are also visiting for the holidays. So we say like we're gonna have our family holiday gathering with our HOA people. So and their families. So it's a great way to kind of still feel the family love even though your loved one's not there too. Like hanging out with other prison wives.
Yeah. And if you can't do it in person, you can do it virtually. You can do,
Yeah.
whatever that we can do. You can do just about anything these days. If you
Yeah.
can't talk to your loved
FaceTime.
one, talk to us. Fuck, I don't really do anything during Christmas. So, if you ever just like want to shoot the shit with someone, I'm here, Just keep it, try to redirect your mind when it goes to the bad places and try to think positively. And I also, when I get upset, especially during holidays, I try to think about Joseph, and I think about like the fact that he would be upset if he knew I was out here upset. Like he would want me to be enjoying X, Y, and Z. Like, so I try to remind myself of that instead of being like, oh, I wish he was here and not there.
Yeah.
Kind of like that.
And I was going to say, I'm also like, one of my things that I love to do every year is go see the Christmas lights in the park because they have like a Christmas in the Oaks thing that we have at City Park. And I know Michael can't be with me to go to that, but I bring Gustavo and we go through the car. It's a drive through. So we just drive through and look at the lights. And, if you have a fur baby, take them. I mean, you can bring them
Or a
in the
real
car,
baby.
take them. Yeah, or a real, I'm just saying for those of us that don't have real children to celebrate the holidays, like that's how I help myself sometimes get through the hard times by doing things with him that he can do that are Christmas themed, obviously. And just see him happy, being able to go for a ride and see the lights together. So I'm gonna get him a puppuccino and me a hot chocolate, and we're gonna just go drive through the lights.
Period.
So, yeah. And I mean, like you said, hang out with friends if you don't have, family nearby. I'm getting together with some girlfriends tomorrow. So, just to do some little holiday things with other people, keep you from sitting at home, like just your mind kind of
Going to a bad place.
overthinking. Yeah,
Don't
So
do that.
don't do that. We're here for you. And we're here for you guys always. So, if you need anything, just shout out to us because like we said, like yeah, I do things here and there, but Christmas Eve I'll be here, so just holla.
I'm a homebody.
Yeah, when we're doing a low key,
I'm probably home.
yeah, we're doing a low key little Christmas thing, Christmas Eve. We're just doing like charcuterie. We're not even doing a full meal, so having wine and just doing charcuteries.
Period.
So for Christmas, that's going to be our Christmas time. So yeah. All right, Paige. Well, do we have a mean tweet of the week? Did we get any mean stuff this week?
I'm sure. Well, I mean, I posted an edit of Joe and I that it turned us into a cartoon, and 2 people commented on it.
All right, well, hold on. Let me do our mean tweet thing so you can share. I'm so excited. I love it. Tweet, tweet, little birdie. Tweet, tweet. All right. What were these mean people saying on your beautiful cartoon picture? Why do they do that?
It's okay.
Of all the things.
It's okay. I have 3 of them on this edit of me and Joe. Mr. Clean, is that you? Joke's on them because I already gave him that nickname, okay? My child did, actually. My child literally saw Mr. Clean on like a squeeze bottle before and said, "Is that Joe?"
He just needs a little hoop earring.
Yeah, so it's like, guess what? Unoriginal. My son beat you to that one. But I still replied and said, "Obviously, question mark."
I love your replies, by the way. If you have never seen Paige reply to mean tweets, it is like get your popcorn and watch her go because she is fan-fucking-tastic.
I have a good time. I made it. It used to be something that really traumatized me, but it's turned into something that's actually like I have fun replying sometimes. I really do. Another person said, "Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean," and I just said, "Mr. Clean is my daddy 100%."
Yes.
And then another person just said, "Ew." All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Meanie.
Thanks for commenting. I left it there.
Hey, yeah, you gave Paige, not only did you give Paige views, you also pushed her content to people that you obviously are affiliated with as well. Thank you. God love the algorithms. All right. Well, Paige, I think I'm getting a phone call.
Okay.
Hello, this is a prepaid collect call from
Frederick.
an inmate
Oh my
at
God.
Florida Correctional
He
Institution.
changed his welcome message.
I had to get a little formal for Christmas.
Oh, yeah, he
He's going by his
changed it.
full
A little
government name
A
now.
little more, yeah.
Well, Frederick just called. That means it's time for our questions. Paige, did you have any anonymous? Okay, I'm gonna let you do it because I'm gonna say this. I put up an anonymous. I must not have enough people in my realm that want to ask me really crazy questions because I was like, I'll answer any. Like I was like desperate. I was like, I'll answer anything. Bring it. Like like go ahead, give me the best like questions you got, like that you want to know. Nobody wants to know anything about me.
Mine were really general, if that makes you feel any better. And some of them were kind of directed at both of us, so I think people were confused. So,
Okay.
the first one I got was, I've always been curious as to how you met your husband. I have told this story a few times, but I'll tell the quick, short version. I was scrolling on a pen pal website, something that I had done all throughout COVID. I had never written to anyone. I just like to look at their profiles and read like what they wrote, and kind of I like to double check and see if they were lying about their charge, which is something a lot of men do, by the way. If you ever are bored, go look at that. That's a thing.
Okay.
So, and something about Joe, it's like I said in the last pod, I just looked at him and there was something about him where I was like, why do I feel like I know him already? Like this, it's like when you like see someone and you're like, oh my God, this is going to be a huge, important person in my life. And I didn't want to write to him because of his charge, being LWAP and being in California. And then I did because I was like, well, at least I won't get attached.
Yeah. Well, here we are.
Fast forward with some COVID fun in between. We had to wait like 9 months to finally see each other in person. And then we finally did, and it was a wrap from there on.
Wow.
That's my honey.
Crazy. How you go from just being like, okay, I'm just going to write somebody friendly, and then all of a sudden, poof.
I know. I like think you think that you're like, I'm like, well, I have more.
Yeah. Because y'all are almost coming up to 5 years, right?
4.
Oh, 4.
4.
Okay.
Yeah, 4.
Okay.
4.
So 4 years later, here you are. 8 years later, here I am. Because our stories are very, very similar. I met Mike the same way, so I'm not going to even get into that. But yeah, it's crazy how like you would think like this. Oh, this is nothing. This is harmless. And then like here we are, episode fucking 38 on
Creating
Prison
a
Wife
podcast.
Podcast.
What like this one's gonna be so cringe for me to read. I'm sorry. It's only because I'm so bad at taking compliments. Why do you feel people judge you for being so beautiful and being in love with a man that's incarcerated? I don't think I am so beautiful. I'm really not trying to fish for.
You are
compliments when I
beautiful.
say that.
You are. No. Paige, have you seen yourself? Hello. I know you don't take compliments well, but I don't think you see yourself the way other people see you.
Well, that's nice. That's encouraging. And I feel like people love to judge, and I feel like when people don't have like the stereotype prison wife that they have created in their mind, and they see something else, their brains are like, this doesn't make sense, and so they have to have some kind of like conspiracy theory or just judge.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's what I feel like.
Yeah, and I think you see some of these like really gorgeous women with people that are incarcerated. Like you see them on like things. I see them on Snapchat all the time, like Love Don't Judge or something.
I know
like
who
that.
you're talking about.
Yeah, and so these people are captivated by this beautiful woman, and they're like, why is she doing this?
They
like
can't understand.
It catches their attention. I think when you have an attractive factor. With anything, it doesn't matter if it's prison wife or not. You capture someone's
Luigi.
attention. Yeah, like Luigi, like Bailey Sarian. I mean, I would go gay for Bailey Sarian. Like she is gorgeous to me, and I don't watch her thing every week, but like she caught my attention. Like not so much just her. I mean, the stuff she talks about is very interesting, and I do watch some of it, but her just the way she looks. I'm like. Oh, okay. And I think people are captivated by a beautiful woman.
They like to question what they don't understand.
Yeah.
Or just assume that I have a mental illness or Gigi has a mental illness or,
there's
full
some hyperbristophilia.
Yeah, there's some reason for what we do.
Yeah.
It's never just love.
Yeah. We can't love a person incarcerated can't be loved. Apparently that's what they think.
Yeah.
They're not worthy of love.
This one,
but you are beautiful. I'm just saying.
Thanks.
You're beautiful. You're beautiful, it's true.
Someone sent, this isn't a question. Someone said, did it hurt when you fell from heaven with a bunch of hand hearts? I don't know which one of you sisses sent me that, but thank you. Do you watch any documentaries on death row? I've seen some on YouTube that show the whole process and the point of view of the person conducting it. Very sad process all around. I think I know what they're talking about. If it's a bigger guy who has done a bunch of executions, I think I've seen that.
Yeah.
It's a very disturbing.
Yeah, I think before I wrote Michael, I would have watched it. Now I can't. I've watched a lot of documentaries. This is what got me into writing to someone on death row. If you need some other ones, I'll throw out some names. Into the Abyss by the legendary Werner Herzog. And I think that's on Netflix. And then Life on Death Row on National Geographic is also a very good one to show all the sides of death row, basically.
Yeah, I feel like that would just trigger me too much, especially like knowing that those are the conditions that, especially your husband. It's like, no, thank you.
Yeah,
I'd rather throw out.
Yeah, now I can't. Like I used to watch prison shows all the time, like 60 Days In. I love the first 2 seasons of 60 Days In.
I can't even watch that anymore. I used to love that show.
Yep. Can't watch it.
No, me either. What is
wait, another one. I'm sorry. Even Orange is the New Black.
Wait, that's so weird because someone tried to ask me if I rewatched that. Like they were like, rewatch it, and I was like, okay. And I tried, and I couldn't do it. And that's a show that I've watched multiple times.
Yeah. That was one of my favorite shows when it came out, and I watched all the first 7 seasons. And then season 8 is when I started really getting serious with Michael. And I tried to watch the first episode where they were having the riot, and I couldn't do it.
No.
Couldn't do it.
No.
So
I completely relate to that. What is your honest opinion on the women that only date men in prison? Not Ash Trevino, but genuine. One relationship will end, and then they get with another person who's also in prison, using WAP as a dating site.
Yep. It's true. I'm not going to
lie. There's definitely women that do it.
Yeah. And we talked about this last week. I think some women like the lifestyle. They like the sisterhood of prison wives. They like having their independence. They like
comfortability.
Having an emotional relationship with someone. Some women don't like physical relationships. There's a whole gamut. Can I just say this too? Because of this question and the question last week, it's been fucking with my mental. The question about the women being abused or coming out of really bad relationships, going into prison relationships.
Yeah.
Because when I thought about it all week, that question had me fucked up. Because I'm like, if it's not an abusive relationship, it's women that are recently divorced. It's women that are
bad.
Yeah. And I'm wondering myself, a prison wife who's been here for 8 years, I'm going on 9 next year. Is it really a trend? Is it something that certain women look for, is it a control thing? Is it a safety thing? Like, do you feel safe knowing where your person is at all times? Do you feel like you have a sense of control because you basically wear the pants in this relationship? I don't know. Maybe there's a subconscious thing that we don't even know about. Like, I'm not a mental person, professional. I can't diagnose why women do what they do, but it had me fucked up all week. I couldn't figure it out because I was thinking, I'm like, a lot of my friends that I met in the beginning were coming out of really bad relationships or divorced.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's an interesting concept, and I don't know. I try not to. Obviously, there are a lot of women that do date multiple incarcerated men. I'll just say I try my hardest to not judge anyone, especially them, because I don't want anyone judging my relationship, and I feel like that is like the opposite of conducive and what we want to do. Like, Correct. Is it unfortunate that people do that, sure, but also what does it affect our life? You know what I mean? It doesn't change anything. If that's what is comfortable for someone, okay. I really
Yeah.
don't think that it's anyone's, like, does it change your life at all? Does it affect you? No. It's the same way with our relationships. It's like no one should.
Yeah.
That's just my
Well,
opinion.
and I'm not going to judge them if that's what they want to do. If that, I mean,
That's what
hey,
makes me happy. Go for it,
they're.
girl. Like
I believe there's somebody for everybody out there, whether they're incarcerated or not. I will say this, and me and Paige talked about it this past week. Like, I don't think, me personally, I would ever do this again. I honestly, I can sit here and say that 100%. If Mike and I don't work out for some reason, I I don't want to do this life. This is not the life I want. I'm doing it because I love my person, and I believe when you love somebody, you sacrifice things. That's part of, truly, that's not Hallmark love. Like, that's the real biblical definition. If you want to, whatever you believe in, that is the real definition of true grit love. But I don't judge people that find comfort. If one relationship doesn't work, relationships work out, they don't work out. It doesn't matter whether you're inside or out. But if people enjoy this lifestyle, I mean, they feel comfortable, something in them just enjoys this, and that's what they want, then there's somebody for everybody out there. You know what I mean?
The last question I had was, how are you ladies feeling about the podcast since you've made it through a whole year? How has it affected your life, and how has it affected your loved one's life in any way?
Ooh. You want to start that one, Paige? I'm going to have to think on that.
Well, a lot more people know now about my life that didn't know before, so that's one thing. I feel like it's given me a lot of confidence to feel more comfortable about what makes me happy and what how I choose to live my life, and that's something that I had been kind of searching for. I've met a lot of amazing people. I've grew relationships. I've grown as a person. I've came out of my box a lot. For Joe, I think that it's been really cool for him to kind of see like that side of me, because as much as we have talks all the time, he doesn't really get to hear those things. And I think for him that it's been cool that like sometimes guys will mention that they like, their girlfriends will be like, listen to this, or like different things. And he even told me, he told one of the COs yesterday about it, and how I do all of these things out here for him. And I thought that was like cool. I was like, oh, did you really? Oh. But I don't know. I think a lot has changed, and all for the good.
Yeah, I agree. This not only has brought me and Paige closer, because, like I said, we were kind of like just acquaintances on Facebook, and then we've seen each for the longest time, and this brought us closer. It brought me closer to a lot of people I, didn't even know were out there. It's made me a lot stronger. It's made me get out of my comfort zone. It's made me grow as a person. It's also made me very busy. Like, I wasn't this busy before. So I feel like it's all been good things from having this podcast, and my relationship with Michael. I mean, that's the only thing I would say is that, obviously this takes a lot more of my time than I can be with him, but he's a champ, and he supports me 120%, so he gets it. But other than that, I mean, our relationship was strong before. It's even stronger now. I think he also likes the fact, he likes hearing how we're impacting the community, people within the community, people with not in the community, but listen.
Yep. Same with Joe.
The change that we're doing on this podcast, I think he enjoys seeing, the fact that we're here not for drama, but for educational and helping other people make it through their loved one's sentence. I think he likes that kindness aspect of it, that what we're doing is a positive thing. So
I like that. I feel like in a way, not that I was like rude even before, but I feel like also it's challenged me in a way to like rethink the way that I can be judgmental
Yeah.
towards other people. Like, and it makes me stop and think and just be a better person.
Yeah. Yeah. It does. It makes it, listen, I have a mouth. Y'all know that. I get spicy. I'm not a super angry person. It takes a lot to get me angry, but this has really helped me self-regulate. Not that I wasn't self-regulating before, but it's helped me and not that I wasn't diplomatic before. I have to be diplomatic. I'm a teacher, but it just helps me learn more about myself. And even though I'm not perfect, I'm far from it. It's helped me understand the imperfections I have and strive to be a better person. Yeah. Great question.
Yeah.
I like that question.
That was it.
Oh, okay. Well, I have two questions from our Friday questionnaire. No speaky pipes, though, sadly. I don't think we have nope, no speaky pipes. All right. Question numero, actually, I got two questions and a comment. Someone, first comment was from last week. They wanted to give Paige a shout out. So she said, I can't have her posted because of of her situation with her loved one. But oh my God, brought big old tears to my eyes. It's been such a hard week on us both with loss and inability to talk because of the phones not working. And so they've been on communication lockdown. She said, she wanted to shout out Paige because Paige had merged a picture of her and her loved one for Christmas on Beyond Bars Imaging. And usually Paige shares, she asked permission to share, and obviously she couldn't share this one, but this girl wanted to give a huge shout out to Paige for making this beautiful picture. So I wanted to do that. So thank you for sending me that.
That's so nice that she said that to you. Yeah. I'm glad I got to make it.
Yeah. All right, Addie, Addie comes in hot every week. She's on fire with these questions. Oh, good question. What would a holiday for prison families look like? What traditions would you include?
Like, what do you mean? Like,
what's a tradition that you could have with your loved one, even though he's in prison? What's a tradition that you can make? Either you do it with your loved one or you do it at home, like a prison family Christmas tradition, I guess.
I kind of like how this year what we're going to do is we're getting PJs and we're going to get food and obviously set out all the stuff for Santa and then watch a movie. So I feel like that. And then Joe can maybe pick a movie that he can watch from his tablet at the same time. And it's we can kind of do that. I know last year I was able to video with him while Brody was opening some of his presents even. So that was special.
Okay. That's a great idea too. Yeah. I love that. Mike and I, our family tradition, obviously the Christmas lights, I do that with my dog. I said that earlier. And then I try to go visit him around Christmas Day. So that way he is not alone on Christmas. That's our thing. I spend Christmas Eve with my family and then I spend Christmas Day with Michael. So this year we're getting a lot of visits. I'm visiting 3 times for the Christmas holidays. Awesome. So I'm very, very excited about that. So those are our traditions. Obviously Christmas Day or Christmas Eve, we'll still talk on the phone, but I'll be seeing him on the 21st, the 22nd, and the 25th. So, so it's going to be, I don't know how much we're going to talk in between because I'll probably be with family on Christmas Eve, but our tradition is spending time together if we can.
Yeah. So. Tell us yours.
Yes, please comment below. What are your prison family traditions? Oh, and I'm hoping to make a new family tradition with my lovely family of RHOA ladies and their children, getting together and maybe doing something with them while we're all visiting that week not next week, but the week after.
I love
So
that.
yeah, but if you have your own family traditions, what would those look like? All right. The next question comes from Kai Ray. I love her.
Me too. She's great.
What's your guys' best advice to get through the holidays to make it a little bit better and easier? Well, I feel like we just
did.
kind of hit that.
We're
Yeah, we just
psychic.
talked about that, Kai. You're one step ahead of us, girl.
Yeah, anyway. we already answered for you. But
that's all I have for questions. So that's it.
surprisingly,
Do you have let's move over to our shouty outs. Do you have a
I do. I have a shout out.
Okay. All right.
I want to
Go ahead,
give
Paige.
my shout out to Death Penalty Focus, which is a great nonprofit. They do all kinds of really great outreach for the death penalty, and every year during Christmas time, they send Christmas cards to all of the people on California death row. So what they do is if you're on their mailing list, they'll send out an email and saying, like, if you're interested in participating, respond to them. And then they'll give you 5 names with the addresses. And all you got to do is send literally, like, I know by the time that this airs, it might be too late. Maybe it's not. I don't know. I just got new names yesterday and they were on the G's. So they might not be through everyone yet. But they went through and they're sending cards to everyone that's on death row. And it just is like a holiday card and it's so sweet. I volunteered to do it and I did 5 names and I emailed them yesterday because I was like, I can do 5 more. And then they sent me 5 more names and I sent all my 10 cards yesterday. And I drew a little snowman on each of them. I took the time and I did that and I was like, I just thought it would be cute. And, you know, I just love that they do that because that's something special that, you know, who knows if these people are getting anything, you know?
Correct.
So
Yeah. That's wonderful, Paige. I saw you posted some pictures of the cards. Yeah. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, shout out to them. I'm also giving a shout out to a friend on Facebook of mine, Abraham or Abe Bonowitz. I don't know if you know him, Paige.
I do.
Okay, he is speaking of, the co-founder and co-director, sorry, I'm not saying this right, of Death Penalty Action. And he is with, the death penalty focus groups in Washington right now, rallying to end the death penalty for Biden, calling Biden out to give clemency to federal death row right now. So shout out to Abe for all of his hard work in trying to promote, the abolishment of the death penalty in America.
Shout out Allie Sullivan too. She is fantastic. She does really good work with him too.
Yes. Where is my shout out button? Oh my God. Oh, here it is. Here we go.
Shout out.
All right. So shout out to our friends working tirelessly to push, especially right now, for clemency for federal death row. Thank you guys for all your hard work.
We didn't do it yet, Joe.
Come through. I'm holding out hope.
Come on, Joe. We can let a judge off who ruined thousands of kids' lives. But let's just think about it.
We talked about it.
Kids' lives could have had normal lives.
Yes.
Completely.
All for kickbacks.
Their lives were completely derailed.
To line the pockets of people in charge.
And not only did they serve barely any time, now it's gone. And it's not, they don't even, he's probably, go do what you want to do, guy. Don't worry about all the shit you did.
I'm hoping, though, that his, he'll never be able to serve as judge again.
No, I don't, you're definitely disbarred for all that shit.
Good. Well, remember, hold your politicians accountable, guys.
All of them.
Right?
I don't care what.
All of them. Doesn't matter what side you're on. All of them.
I'll fight you if you're a Democrat, and I'll fight you if you're a Republican, and I'll fight you if you're an independent or any of the other parties. I don't care.
Me too. Yo también. All right. Well, we have one announcement. We had a little change to our Christmas holiday schedule in our support group, Love Within Walls. Paige came out with a great idea, and I love it. Instead of doing an ugly sweater party, we decided to. Paige came out with this great idea of doing a New Year's Eve throwdown. I am super excited.
I'm like
So, Paige, you want
literally,
to tell everybody?
I literally just like every New Year, especially since I've been with Joe, I literally sit at home and I have Brody too. So it's like I don't go out and do anything, and I wouldn't want to either because, like, okay, yeah, let me go out and watch all these couples kiss.
Yeah.
I'm having
Torture.
so much
It's like
fun.
basically torturing yourself.
I'm a Cancer. I'm dramatic as fuck. I'm gonna make. That's exactly what I would do if I was. I'd be like,
Yeah.
But so I sit at home and I'm like, yo, there's a good chance a lot of our ladies are probably going to do that too. And I'm like, why don't we all just sit at home on our computers? And even if it's like literally it starts at 10 and we literally just have, we can even be like, feel free to leave and come as you want. Like it's literally just like an open room for all of us to chill and hang.
Play games or
Yeah.
just hang out
We're
and
looking up
have a cocktail, mocktail, whatever you want.
Taylor and I were Googling different games and stuff that we can do as like a group, and we found a few, so it'll be fun.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
Me too.
So our New Year's Eve party is obviously New Year's Eve. It starts at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So 9 Central, 8 Mountain, and 7 Pacific, right? Did I do that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So hopefully some of our West Coast ladies will be able to come because I know that, sometimes we have stuff at like 8 or 9 and so it's not feasible for them. So hopefully they'll be able to come. So you're welcome to come. Join us in Love with the Malls, our support group, and we hope to see you and party and bring in the new year with our Wallers. Best place to be.
Also, we're going to try to figure out how to do a YouTube live, so stay tuned.
Yeah, big things coming for 2025, just saying.
We're going to get on our YouTube game. Step it up. Even with those,
I know
y'all want the segments where it labels what they are. I promise.
Yeah.
I'm trying. I will get there.
We're working, guys. We're working on it, and we will bring you some big stuff and better stuff for 2025 for sure. So, and if you need extra, if you want to see us a little bit more, join us on our Patreon.
We're headed there.
Love with the Malls, raw and uncut. All right, guys. Well, we love you. We hope you have a wonderful week leading into Christmas. Know that you're not alone. We're here with you. If you need anything, reach out, find support. You don't have to ride this holiday journey alone. And just talking with other people that get it might be your best way to work through those feelings, guys. All right. Well, we love you so much.
We do.
So much. We wish you, I don't know if
Happy holidays.
Feliz Navidad. He sings, but I didn't put the batteries in him. But we wanted to wish you guys, obviously, if we don't see you before that, a very Merry Christmas. And we'll see you for New Year's.
Happy Hanukkah, happy whatever you celebrate.
Happy Kwanzaa, happy Hanukkah, all of it.
Happy holidays, y'all.
Just happy holidays, guys. Okay? We love you. I'm going to put Pedro down here. Okay? And he fell. We love you guys. Holiday kisses, besitos. All right, we'll see you guys next time. Love you.
Bye.